Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Triple Clowns. It's me, G. Randall Johnson, alongside the beautiful Sarah Marie, Mrs. Big News, and the truck stop burrito, AJ Ryder. If you can see the other guy there, that is Rich Bieglmeier from the Players Edge podcast. He's always along for the ride. Well, he is a lot of times. I don't even know. Everybody's giving their own name of a clown. I don't know what Rich would be. Is he cousin clown? Is he Uncle Clown? Is he? I don't want to say Uncle Rich because I'm a little old to be you. Be my uncle. Could he be? I don't know, but he's some sort of clown.
Circus clown.
Second cousin twice removed clown.
Circus clown. He could be the circus clown. That's
He's a circus clown.
Hey, listen,
The circus clown.
Circus clown. I know everybody out there is a clown in waiting. So the circus clown. Let's go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Bieglmeier from the Players Edge podcast, doing a lot of great things out there. So make sure you check out his show. Today, we're going to talk about the Belmont, obviously. We're going to bring in the news with Mrs. Big News like we always do when we talk about it, recap some races and all that other good stuff. And then we're going to give Rich a little trivia for everybody out there because about the clowns. So if Rich is a real fan of the clowns, I feel like he should know this. So we're kind of calling him out.
No pressure, Rich.
If he
No
really
pressure
listens
at all.
to our show or he just shows up on here.
I listen sometimes.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm like the James Brown of horse racing. I'm the hardest working man. So
yeah, that is true. You do say yes, that is true. The hardest working man in horse racing, doing a lot of things for real over there at Players Edge podcast. And we're gonna do that for a prize for everybody. Everybody, if Rich can get them right. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna offer a lot for there. But this is us, the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation. So everybody out there, we're excited to be part of Degen Nation. So hopefully you guys will welcome us to your family out there listening and bring our family in of the Triple Clowns family. So we're doing that. We're excited. Let's get on to the news. Mrs. Big News, let's go.
All right, we have a few things to talk about today. First, I want to do a shout out to D-Rest for the Breeders' Cup blanket you see behind Randy. Super grateful for that. We're very excited, and I think it fits in quite nice with our set. But let's start off. I know we touched on this subject in last week's show issue, but we're going to talk a little bit more. Linda Rice, as a lot more has evolved with her suspension at the NYRA tracks. So, Randy, you know a little bit more of everything that has been evolving with Linda Rice and where she's currently at with this situation, what she's trying to do to fight this situation.
Well, I don't think it's even, I know like a little bit more. I think it's just a simple process of the appeal process, which we all know this. It is weird that the drug appeal things are much shorter, but this is bigger because it's the gaming commission. And the appeal process is more like a court of law, for real, a court of law, because I mean, these are charges that legitimately could probably do, like, you're not going to do jail time unless you're service and those guys with the feds and everything like that. But you know, when you get the gaming commission involved, I mean, it's real, but her process is she's taken her process of it. She feels confident. I don't know what that means because I feel like everybody in their appeal process, you know, unless they just want to get it over with because they know they were caught red-handed. But it seems to me she's still running her horses. She's still training every day. This could take a long time, and maybe that's the play. You get through Saratoga. I mean, this could take 6 or 7 months. So, and then maybe, okay, I'll do it, but I'll start at Aqueduct and I'll get a lighter sentence and I'll miss Aqueduct, which, I mean, besides AJ, nobody cares about missing Aqueduct. So, you know, she's like, I'll just go to Florida for the winter and not have to sit here the whole time. But no, I think it's weird charges. I really want to know, and I think the Triple Clown should get into this, like the person she was going to and doing whatever, where are they now?
Probably in Florida.
And they're not talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because that person lost their job. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah.
That person lost their job. Is probably afraid of pressing charges. Have we heard who that is? Does anybody know who that is? That because obviously this wasn't a one-woman show here. If this is true, and is this something that maybe everybody does, or it's just a light, stupid thing that's, you know, it's Martha Stewart with insider trading or something like that in a sense? I mean, could it be something like that where it's like, all right, this isn't really bad, but I get it. You broke the rules, or, you know, I don't know.
What says in the Pollock report that they got some information from former entry clerks Jose Morales and Matt Salvato about what other horses were going to be in or entering races. So she was a Martha Stewart.
Mhm.
She was getting inside information on where to put her horses, or at least that's what's alleged.
So she was Martha Stewart with the insider.
Yes, indeed.
information.
Even
Right.
kind
I
of
mean,
dressed like Martha
basically-
Stewart in the photo in the article.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, and it is weird as like a human being being like, all right, you know, you hear these insider trading, even people where it's, yeah, is it right? And are you cheating the people? If that's the case, sure. I mean, and it's not right, and you shouldn't be able to do it. But it's like, is this worse than what other people are doing?
Unless you're a
out there?
congressperson, then you could trade on all the inside information you want.
Exactly. Don't have to worry about
Absolutely.
anything.
Yeah. Listen, Nancy Pelosi's I'm in California, so we all know how that works. You know, let's invest in some more windmills and what's it called? We'll get to politics and electric chargers. Yeah, that's right, Nancy.
Yeah.
You have $100 million for any reason. Sorry for everybody out there that's the left wing. You probably don't listen to us anyway. That's really a Nancy Pelosi fan, but I'm more about what you're
Rules
doing
for
with
thee
this.
and not for me. If I can play by the same rules, I'm all right with it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
exactly.
don't care who you are. Let me give me the same playing field. But it is weird. The Linda Rice thing is strange to me because it is one of those things that's, you know, could that have been a gentleman's handshake thing? Not that that makes it right, but just be like, oh, what's the big deal? Yeah, I knew the horses 5 hours before. Oh, it is a big deal. Jose Morales, is he a jockey? Was a jockey?
His name sounds familiar. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Doesn't
It does
it?
sound familiar. It does sound
Yeah,
like he's a jockey.
Or a
Oh, I'm
boxer.
thinking Pedro Morales, the wrestler, AJ. Oh shit. No, but no, yeah, no, it's a strange situation because it is one of those like, are we mad at her as a gambler? Sure. You know what I mean? I guess. Or if you're another owner of a horse that, you know, she's ducking or not doing whatever, it's an unfair advantage. Yeah. What is it like off with her head? I mean, if her ban is more than other people's ban that are actually caught giving drugs to horses, I mean,
Which
this
it
is
kind
where,
of
like,
seems like that's the case
yeah,
quite going on. The
It does seem like that.
the penalties and fines seem to be way worse than everything that we've like. Wasn't it like a 3-year ban? Or
Yeah,
something-
3-year
or
ban.
something,
yeah,
or
it's one of
something
those
crazy about this.
you screw with the gamblers. It's kind of like the Pete Rose is not allowed in the Hall of Fame, not allowed. Okay, the guys that have all done steroids are still allowed. They just don't get voted in. Does that seem a little more extreme than like who's cheating worse? It's kind of like that. I mean,
Yeah.
that whole like Fed thing compared to other things, even though I know they're all federal, but I don't know. It's a weird thing. Comments below. Tell us what you think about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? It is a little extreme, I think, but yeah, it's guys that get drug charges that do more time than people who, you know, diddle kids. Does it make sense? No. I mean, you know, what's the worst human being? Is that what we're judging people on, or what are they screwing up? Whatever. I mean, I don't know. You know,
It all goes back to the politicians again with the little kids and all that stuff.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll leave that one alone.
Maybe
Rich.
no little
Jeez.
kids. Yeah.
Yes, they all love to order from Wayfair. No,
Yeah. But it is true.
Oh,
When
yes.
you look at it, it is how our government balances what you do. And do I think you can cheat like millions of dollars worth of bettors? When it comes down to money, you're going to do more time than you are hurting anything. Let's face it. It's just what it is. And what she
Well,
did,
both
I guess,
this and the drug. I mean, it all comes down to money. I mean, you're cheating bettors regardless of
I agree.
which charge. I mean, neither
Yeah.
is. I mean, one puts the horse at more of a risk, so that as opposed to what Linda Rice is doing, it didn't put her horses at risk,
yeah.
as opposed to the other one, and yet this one seems to be frowned
Harsher.
upon more
Yeah.
as far as the penalty and fine goes. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, I think it's exactly, you're saying exactly what we're saying there. It's one of those like, you know, for society and for people and everything, are there things out there that are worse crimes that is for society and everything like that than money crimes or whatever? And we treat certain ones worse. I mean, it is weird. but let's see what happens with Linda.
Well, I mean, and even when we talked about, the penalties for these drugs, and we talked about like, look, betamethasone didn't win Medina Spirit the Derby, and yada yada yada. So maybe this is a harsher crime. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it on the surface. So I would love to know a little bit more with somebody like Vic, a steward, like how big of an advantage is to know the field prior to. I mean, if your horse is that good, as opposed to just, having your horse on what is a little bit more effective than an Advil going into the race. Like, what's a bigger deal? What's cheating the public more? I think.
Well, that's kind of what it is. And I think
Yeah.
we're all coming to the fact of what's the bigger problem. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. I mean, but listen, if you're doing that and that's against what we always say, you break the law, you break the law. And
Maybe one is that she's cheating the other horse owners and the other trainers.
Yeah.
Whereas the folks who are kind of maybe overdosing their horses a little bit, yeah, that's probably a risk most trainers are up against at times. So it's something they share in common. So they're not kind of screwing each other when there's a little bit of overdosing versus when you're actually trying to get advantage over the insiders in your business. So that seems like the business is turning on her. If it were the public, it wouldn't be as big a deal.
Yeah. I mean, look
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
guys at Boston College that shaved points compared to the guys in college like Brian Bosworth that got caught doing steroids. Who got a bigger thing? The guys who are shaving points got years and years in prison, where Brian Bosworth could have hurt somebody out there or, himself getting. So, yeah, there is something to that.
That's an interesting point because I mean, is Linda right? Yeah, Linda Rice isn't really screwing the public over because look, day of, we know who's in that race.
Mm-hmm.
We do with the PPs. We know exactly.
It is the other owners. Yeah.
Linda Rice isn't really screwing over the betting public as opposed to, just other trainers, owners, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. For what
First rule of Fight Club.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't talk about entries before the entries are out. But no, I mean, it's what it is. And she's innocent to proven guilty. She seems confident. So maybe it is just something of being like, I called and asked like 2 hours before because I had to do whatever. And maybe that's the case. They slap her on the wrist. Anytime you appeal, I always feel like it drops anyway.
It drops. Yeah. I seem like it does
like
drop
anything,
quite a bit.
So with any sport, you get a year suspension. It's Tom Brady, wasn't he like a year and then went to like 4 games or something? I mean, you appeal it. It's kind of what they want you to do. She'll appeal it. Maybe she gets, like I said, the aqueduct meat gone, and never do it again and cool. But I don't think she's the devil here. Let's just put it that way. I mean,
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on from that.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk Belmont. Now that we're going to be less than 2 weeks away, let's start off with jockeys. So we have Flavian, who's going to ride Hot Rod Charlie, and now Johnny V is going to ride Rombauer. I don't know. We talk about jockey jumps a lot on our pick shows. Is this something to really put an eye on? Is this something to be like, oh, okay, so Flavian, he's not riding Rombauer.
Yeah, well, I think the Flavian is interesting because if you remember, Rosario was on Hot Rod Charlie, correct? I believe, right? He was on Hot Rod Charlie. I know that's Rich's favorite horse, Hot Rod Charlie. We won't bring that up again, but I think Rosario was on Hot Rod Charlie, and then Rosario chose to be on a different horse, and they went with Flavian. So there's maybe some sort of bond there, some sort of like, hey, if we give you this horse, this is our plan. This is what happens. You're back on this horse. Gentleman's agreement or whatever. That's what it seems like. It's not like Flavian didn't run this horse before. So I don't know. Look into it like he's a better, because I do think at the end of the day, will Rombauer or Hot Rod Charlie be favored in the Belmont over each other? I think Hot Rod Charlie will take the odds there. I don't know what they are right now, but I mean, is he just going on a better horse in his mind? I don't think you read into it though, because I think it's a Doug O'Neill made a commitment to him and he owes him now.
Well, I mean, it's a Southern California jockey jumping on a Southern California horse as opposed to, McCarthy or Rombauer is really not that. So it seems weird because you just won the Preakness with him and now you're going to jump off. But I mean,
Calvin Burrell jumped off.
That's what I was just thinking. Calvin Burrell, mind that bird to Rachel.
Yeah, but he ran Rachel the day before the Derby and won by 20. So that's a little different. But I don't think it's so much of a jump of just a gentleman's agreement of you got Hot Rod Charlie now.
Well, and look, after the Triple Crown's over, you're going to go back to Southern California. You want a good relationship with the trainers who are going to be in Southern California. That's where Doug O'Neill's going to be. And so, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That, if you're playing the long game there, you've got to make those guys happy.
Yeah. And Doug O'Neill gave him a Derby ride. I mean, he really did, so, I mean, something for that. Rich, what do you think about that?
Well, on our show, The Player's Edge, we get a lot of jockeys for guests. And that's a question I've asked them over and over and over again. Like, do you get to pick the horses or are they kind of picked for you? And most of the jockeys that we've talked to have said on a rare occasion, they get to kind of pick between two horses, but more often than not, it's kind of, you're going to be on this horse. So I don't know to what degree Flavien had any say over which horse he's going to ride in the Belmont Stakes. To me, it's one of those things because when I'm handicapping, I see a jockey get off one horse and get on another. I'm thinking, well, he made a decision that he thinks, or she made a decision that horse is better. I want to ride that horse because I got a better chance to cash a check. And I've asked that question to just about every jockey we've had on our show, and the answer is almost always the same, that more often than not, that's just the ride that their agent got for them, and they don't really have a whole lot of say. Once in a while, they're locked into a horse, and if they're locked into a horse and they want to ride another, they'll go to the owner, and they say more often than not, the owner will let them off that ride and go on the other ride if that's what they want. So, that's probably something we should try to ask them if we can get them on the show. And even then, they don't probably give us a straight answer because they don't like AJ said, they don't want to offend people that they're going to work with down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think this is a move of Hot Rod Charlie is so much better than Rumbauer. I think it's a move of I was on Hot Rod Charlie first, two brought me to the dance of the Triple Crown. I mean, that horse brought him to the dance, wasn't in the second race, probably was agreed upon even before the race. You know what I mean? In a sense, even mentally agreed upon in his mind, being like, I'll run this one. Even if I win, I'm obligated to Hot Rod Charlie with Doug O'Neill. And that's it. Even if I win, I'm going over it. It's not like, listen, if Rumbauer won the Derby and was going for a Triple Crown right now, this would be a different story. You know what I mean? Like if he was on him both times, he's not going to Hot Rod Charlie, right? I mean, I don't believe he would, but yeah. I don't think it's anything of Hot Rod Charlie being so much better than Rumbauer at the end.
Yeah.
If he even is, we'll find out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, even in that case, you're talking about, if this was for a Triple Crown bid, I'm assuming the agent too, Flavien's agent would be like, no, we're going to stay on this horse. Now it's kind of a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, even if you had an obligation to Doug and Hot Rod, you're going to be like, nah, well,
do I really want to be that guy?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be that guy.
Right. Well, let's go over real quick. So as of right now, the Belmont's looking to be a 14 horse field. We'll go over some of the probables and with the jockeys confirmed. So we have Bourbonic with Kendrick Carmouche, Brooklyn Strong with Jose, Essential Quality with Luis Saez. Francisco de Ina has not yet confirmed a jockey. Hot Rod Charlie, like we talked about, Flavien, Known Agenda, Irad, Overtook, Manny, Rebels Romance, Mike Smith, Rock Your World, Yoel Rosario, and Rombauer Johnny V. Those are 10 of the 14 probables that are confirmed of which jockey they're going to be using. Now, the whole 14 field, I'll go through them real quick again. Essential Quality, Midnight Bourbon, Hot Rod Charlie, Known Agenda, Rock Your World, Rombauer, Rebels Romance, Bourbonic, Brooklyn Strong, Keep Me in Mind, Get Her Number, Overtook, Promise Keeper, and Francisco de Ina. As of right now, that is what our Belmont is looking at.
Yeah, seems like a really stellar field. AJ's Get Her Number is a big, he likes that horse. I know that. I mean,
just because of the name.
I mean, how many of those? I didn't really make the note of it. How many of those ran the last two that are running the last one? Is there?
Just I think Midnight Bourbon was the only name I recognized that
Yeah.
ran in the first two.
Midnight
but-
Bourbon and Keep Me in Mind.
Keep Me in Mind didn't run the Preakness.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
he ran in the Kentucky Derby. He was the last entry,
Yeah, he ran.
and then he
Derby and
ran
Preakness.
fourth, I think, in the
He ran
Preakness.
first.
I'm sorry. Keep Me in Mind.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was thinking Rock Your World. I don't know why I just did that.
Yeah, no, Rock Your
Um,
World didn't.
Keep Me
run
in
the
Mind ran
Preakness.
both, and you know that like I said, that was the weirdest move ever because that's a horse. I'm sorry, I would have sat out and went to the Belmont and would be my favorite in the Belmont if didn't run the Preakness. I really would bet that horse before any horse if that horse did not run the Preakness. It's a grinder that I think would have helped with the rest compared to all the other horses. So with those horses doing this grueling thing, the other horses are rested. I mean, we might see a horse out of nowhere win this race, or the known agendas, or the. I mean,
And we have two international. I mean, Francisco de Ina, of course, ran in the Preakness. And
I
then
don't know. I don't understand that horse being even involved.
Yeah,
it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Rich
Another one
people
is the
having
Rebels
fun.
Romance.
Yeah.
Rebels Romance is coming over to run and the
I don't
Belmont.
know anything about that horse.
is
This
that the one that won like the?
UAE
the-
Derby.
Yeah, that was a really
Yeah.
nice run if you watched that video.
Yeah.
hmm I thought that horse would have had an okay shot if it had come over early on too.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That might be an
Second
angle,
time in the
but
States.
yeah, I
sure.
mean, you wonder. I mean, of all the fields, I know we got asked this question: was it the worst Preakness ever? If Medina's Spirit, I mean, that's such a hard thing because the Preakness is only ever good because you have the Derby winner in it. I mean, let's face it, they're never that good of races. I mean, they are sometimes. I mean, even last year, it's like, no, so Skydiver and Authentic. But obviously last year was a weird thing. Anytime you have the Derby winner in it, and if the Derby winner is not in it, it's a terrible Preakness. It's the Preakness. It's the one that's most skipped. I mean, so
Well, it's
hard to
the
say
middle
if that was
child.
a
It's always
bad-
forgot about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
really is, but it's skipped the most, obviously, because if you go in a Derby, you don't win. You'll probably skip the Preakness a lot of times and go for the Belmont. So you could still win one out of. You don't want to come back unless you're an early speed horse. But I mean, I don't know. Was that a bad Preakness? I don't know. I don't know if any of these horses want to run that
well,
distance.
who was it
at
that
the
who was
Belmont.
it
It's
that
like the first year I've seen horses not want to
who
run
was it that
distance
said though
at
that
all.
was
Yeah.
it Chip that said like we don't really know how good half these fields are going to be until 3-4 years down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like the
still
NFL
babies.
draft. When
Yeah.
they grade the NFL draft, they should grade it like 2 years later. Because
Like if Rombauer never wins another race, then okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which
Yeah.
happens. Which
It does
happens in
happen.
That's
Triple
what I
Crown
mean.
race.
Like
It
so,
happens.
it's way too early, 2 weeks out to judge whether or not this was a really good field or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If a bunch of them come back to win a ton of races, then it was the greatest field of all time.
Well, it would be interesting to
yeah.
see how Known Agenda and Rock Your World run if they can get, because they both had just terrible trips in the Derby.
Oh, they
So,
did.
yeah, so I'd be interesting to see how well they run here, because I think they could end up being two of the better horses out of this class. But trip is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think you have a little bit easier here in the Belmont to have a lag start or something like that. I mean, obviously it's a little longer, shorter field than usual. I'd be surprised if they're going to say they have 14. No way there's going to go 14 to the gate. I don't think. I think
What are you thinking?
12.
What? 12. Yeah.
12 at
That's
the
what I would.
most.
That's what I would say.
You get at least 2 scratches for sure.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'd be all over. What's his name there? I don't know why I always forget this horse's name.
Keep
the
Me in
Cohen
Mind?
horse. Keep Me in Mind. If we didn't run the Preakness.
I think AJ's
Um,
Bourbonic could do all right there. It was a big closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Mhm.
Deep closer.
And
there.
Belmont, New York's that's his home.
That's his
Mhm.
own
Yeah,
track.
it'd be played because of that angle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I think the jockey jump's interesting. I don't think it's as interesting as people are going to make it out, but
Yeah.
It's interesting, and we'll see. I mean, we have a couple weeks to go. We're going to see these horses train. a
Well,
little.
and even the jockey jump, like we've got 2 weeks. We have to overreact to absolutely everything. We can't just
Yeah.
we can't just play that off and be like, oh, it's not a big deal.
Of
No, it's no.
course.
I mean, for the
Yeah.
moment, as of right now, it's the biggest deal.
Straight out of boredom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing else going on.
Because there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
So we gotta hype up this jockey jump that probably won't mean anything, but that's what we have as far as the news. Let's move on. We had 4 stakes races this weekend. So we'll start off at Churchill with the grade 3 winning color stakes, where Wisconsin takes the win over Rising Seas and Frank's Rocket.
Rocket trying to get by. Sconson bursts on the scene. Here comes Sconson now, 4th and now 3rd and now 2nd. And Sconson rocketing by the pacemakers. Sconson in front. Rising Seas back into 2nd. Frank's Rocket is 3rd. Headland and Tipsy Gal. Sconson scores. Under the wire, the 3-length winner.
Yeah, listen, I always say Frank Charquette decided to go against the boys and hasn't been the same horse, because you figured that horse would have beat Wisconsin easy last year. But it's one of those things. Went to the boys and took that risk and got beat up in the Breeders' Cup. I know Chip says, Chip Kirky from Horse Nation said, yeah, it's still running pretty good, but Wisconsin's one of those horses who's getting better with age a little bit. And yeah, Frank Charquette, good to see Frank Charquette running again, because I mean, that was a horse that looked really good and then jumped in. I'm all for that. You want to say you're good and you want everything, jump in with the boys, see what happens. And sometimes it turns against you because you lose that edge. But good to see it back.
The second stakes race that they had at Churchill was the Kirtana Overnight Stakes, which was a 1.5 mile on the turf, where Temple City took the lead, followed by Delika and Tweety Show.
Then it's Sursum Corda and Tweety Show. There's 1 furlong to go for Dalika. The lead's down to 8. Now it's 7. Now it's 6. Temple City Terror takes off after Dalika. Dalika's still there. 6 teeth to go. Temple City Terror coming with a flying finish after Dalika, and she gets there.
Yeah, Tweety Show. That was a pretty good race, but let's move to Santa Anita. They had 2 graded stakes races. We're going to start with a grade 3 Santa Maria, where, as time goes by, won by a nose to this T and followed by Miss Stormy D.
Inside Miss Stormy D, CC is next, final furlong. As time goes by, 1.5 lengths. This T posing a threat. This T trying to get to As Time Goes By, who leads by a 1/2 length. As Time Goes By, or this T. As Time Goes By, this T. Here's the line. Photo finish. Noses up and down.
That was a crazy race. I mean, as time goes by, if you looked at this horse's last race, where she just went gate to wire and just destroyed that field. I probably, if I played this race, which I didn't, but I would have singled this horse. But really, this T really put up a pretty good fight here.
I did single the horse, and Miss T was training really well. That was CC was the most disappointing in that race, because Victor had her sitting super pretty. Like, I thought CC was a winner coming around the turn. Honestly, oddly enough, because I know, what was going on there, and really just didn't respond. But I mean, the horse showed class and won at the wire. Knows where the wire is.
Yeah. That was an interesting race, because the 3 horses went out to the lead, and then the CC, and I forget the name of the other horse, the 3 horse. It looked to me like the 3 horse was going to have a shot too, and then those 2 just went straight back, and the 2 horse, this T, just came flying through the middle. I was like, just gonna get him. No way. And sometimes I think everybody who's ever watched a race, you got go off 2 to 5 or something like that. And you have a 2 to 5 that gets nipped at the wire by the longest shot on the board. You wonder, what's going on there? But fought like a champ at the wire, and knows where the wire is and won. So that was a surprising race to me, because I didn't think this T had any shot against any of these, and then went ahead, and I thought, well, was it a 4-horse field, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, she's in for the $12,000, because there's only 4 horses and they pay 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm sure a lot of people really thought that of this T, because there's a lot of eyes on CC and Miss Stormy D. A lot of people still, think pretty highly of her. And yeah, this T, I was surprised how much fight she had.
And I was a little bit on CC because Victor actually told us personally that was his favorite horse right now that he's riding, and like his fastest horse was CC. He told us that personally. I'll say that out loud. And so I had to be like, okay. And then I really thought CC was sitting pretty. That was a weird race because it wasn't like the horses in the lead were short, but they seemed it.
Yeah.
In the race.
They did, yeah.
So.
All
Well,
right,
you better be careful getting information on races there, Randy.
Yeah,
oh,
right.
I know.
You don't want to end up like Linda Rice.
Exactly.
Yeah. All he said was it was his favorite horse. That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right, let's move on to the final stakes race at Santa Anita, which was the grade 3 Honeymoon Stakes, where Going Global took the win by 4 3/4 lengths, followed by Golden and Midnight Diva. Now,
Who pounces, takes command at the 8th pole, and opens up. It is Going Global. How impressive is she? Streaking clear by 6 lengths. An incredible performance from Going Global, who trounces them. Golden came from last to get second.
Going Global and Golden sat in the back for most of the race, and it was really impressive to see how both of those horses really opened up about the quarter pole there and just destroyed.
Going Global made easy work of that field.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it did. When he got on that rail, when he tucked inside on that rail, and then he was gone.
Yeah, that was a like I said, that was like the hot single, which is weird that the horse on the outside of him was the same odds because it just never ran that distance or anything like that. I did think that was like one that you really like. The horse is good. That's a superstar horse.
Yeah.
And the other ones are okay. The other one needs to move back down. I forgot Mandoli. What is it? Something like that. Malone.
Modane.
Madone.
Yeah.
Matthew
Modane.
Modane. But yeah, I think that horse is a miler. Nothing wrong getting beat by Golden Global, but that horse is a monster. That horse
It's a good horse. It looks like it's getting better too.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. He really does.
Yeah.
All right, those are recaps of the races. So let's move on to put Rich in the spotlight.
So you can get a free entry to the contest over at Horse Racing Radar.
Did you blew it?
Well,
It was
no,
a surprise.
No, you need to get 3 out of 5 of these answers and what we're doing. And you get a free entry. That's right, everybody. The Triple Clowns are sponsoring. We're not really sponsoring it. It's always free. But anyway, we're going to do a little contest for a free play this weekend, which you get anyway. But it's going to be fun doing it. And
Well, you have to do it next weekend because this weekend's already over.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, that's true. Yeah, but it's coming out.
This coming weekend.
It's
Okay,
not.
this
This coming
coming
weekend.
This
There-
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
We might actually have some extra ones this weekend. So usually we do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to guess we'll have one on Monday too. So there'll be 4 chances.
A lot of stakes races.
Unless you get 3 of 5 here today, there won't be one on Monday.
I have to go
All
to
right.
mine. I just found out
Right.
while we were shooting. I have to go to mine on Monday. So anybody out there at Santa Anita, I will be there with going to Vegas. So see what happens. All right. Let's see. So we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be our basically. What do you know about the clowns? I don't know if that's what it's gonna be called, but what do you know about the clowns? Rich, you say you're a fan of the clowns. We know you're on here a lot, and these are questions that either you can
say
figure
that,
out
though?
by knowing us, or we probably never mentioned them, but I think it's a lot of fun. We'll be quick with this. So I'm going to ask these questions right now to you. These are about the Triple Clowns. That'd be me, Sarah, and AJ. All right. So we're going to ask you these questions. We need you to get 3 out of 5 or no one's getting anything.
Glad you broke down who the Triple Clowns were.
Well, for everybody else. Well, there's so many clowns. All right. So, all
Our
right. So
clown family is growing.
Rich,
Yeah.
Rich, for the Triple Clowns, we have 3 favorite horses, right? Running right now. Them being Moonlight Dioro, Vertical Threat, and Gamine. Could you tell us who's the favorite of each of the Triple Clown?
Well, I know Gamine is
That's fine.
Same thing.
is AJ.
Yep.
Vertical Threat is you. And the third one is Sarah.
All right.
You got
So
it.
I just got 3 out of 5 already. I won.
There
all
you
get to
go.
for
There
free.
you go.
Yeah, wow, that's fast.
All right.
Game
So-
over. All right. Have a good.
All right,
good
Rich.
day,
So the next
everybody.
question is about the Triple Clowns. We were all together in the same place where? The first time. We were all together in the same place. Where was it? Was it a bar? Was it a beach? Was it a party? Was it a TV set or a holding cell?
Well, I would have to guess a bar. I don't know the answer to this one, but knowing the three of you, I would go bar.
I would have gone holding cell, but
You're
bar-
absolutely go. Sarah can't go in the same holding cell, so that was a throw
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
Okay, you were wrong. We met on a TV set.
Oh, you know what? I did know that. You brought that up before.
Oh,
So you know what? When you get a little older like me, sometimes the gray stuff in the upstairs, you have some CTE.
all right. Now, okay. Who go the clowns top to bottom, highest education level of the clowns, top to bottom.
Ooh, top to bottom. Let's see. That's just a tough one. Well, I know AJ went to college. He played football at Eastern Illinois.
Ooh.
So I know that. Right? Is that right, AJ?
that is
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
So can
Got
I
it,
make that
Rich.
one of the trivia
I
questions?
just learned that.
Uh-huh. He taught Tony Romo and Sean Payton everything they know.
Everything.
And Jimmy
Everything
Garoppolo.
they know.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. You played basketball in college.
Yeah, I went to yeah.
So y'all went to college. Sarah, I don't know. She's
Everybody
never
went to
mentioned college
college.
before. So I'm going to say that Sarah has the most education and you two have the same. You both
Wow.
graduated
We're
with
tied for
four-year
second.
degrees.
You are absolutely
Nope.
AJ's got the highest education level, followed by Sarah, then me. Yes, I am the lowest level.
AJ coming in there looking all fancy with a
I
master's
didn't
and everything.
finish. Yeah, I did. I got my
Come on
associate's,
now.
That was it. Yeah. So AJ's the highest education level. We said education, not intelligence level,
Yeah.
Rich.
Big difference there.
Huge difference.
I would have the highest intelligence.
And also remind you, they're millennials, and college was like Play-Doh. I mean, and honestly, I went to school in New England in high school, and I think that's probably the equivalent higher education than college in Illinois. Let's face it. I mean,
Well, yeah, Illinois got some good colleges for
Hey,
sure.
man.
The University of Chicago is amongst the best in the world. Northwestern,
Northwestern,
bro.
bro.
that's
Come
where
on.
you're from.
Yeah, Northwestern's a pretty strong college. So,
Don't-
I can't
don't
say
come to
anything about
Illinois.
where I'm
Don't
from.
come
to
But
first of all,
I'm at least
I'm-
going to stick up for AJ because since
I'm
I
from
can't
New
talk anything
England.
about me.
You guys should shut up. I'm from New England. Where are all the Ivy League schools? I don't know. Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Group
good.
think.
Would you ever walk on those campuses? Did they allow you to do that? Yeah, no.
He had to do it from across the street.
I
So
had more
he's
of a
been
chance of
from
going
Yale.
to.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't let
Listen,
you to
yeah.
a Harvard football game.
No, yeah.
They wouldn't
And
let
I
no
was
one
thrown
goes
out of
there.
Harvard before. That is a true story. I tell people all the time I was thrown out of Harvard, and they think I went to school there. I actually went there, and they threw me out.
No.
But
Randy
yeah,
got kicked out of school.
it's true.
I have a Harvard sweatshirt. No.
Same thing. You said you went to
I'm
Harvard.
Yeah, I graduated.
Midwest.
What
That's
the-
just
Yeah.
as good as Randy's education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah. My degree is written down on a piece of paper right here.
Overrated education.
I gave
Right,
Randy
so-
some crayons and he got his own. He made his own little diploma. So I'm proud of him.
And I ate them. All right.
He
so,
did eat the crayons and the paper.
So, all right. So we're gonna go next. We're gonna go. Two of the clowns are deathly afraid of snakes, and one is afraid of Jello. Who is the one that's afraid of Jello?
Oh man. Probably AJ because he spent too much time in school with Jello shots.
I
you
am
want-
one, I am one of the snakes, but I don't even know the answer to this question.
I do.
It's me.
Well, if you're one of the snakes, that
Randy's
means one of the
afraid of
other two is-
Jello.
I'm afraid of Jello.
Randy's
Me and
afraid of
AJ
Jell-O.
are terrified of snakes.
Yeah, make that. I don't like snakes either.
Oh God.
Too many
I
Jello
can't-
shots in when you weren't in college, Randy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true. Too many Jello shots at other people's colleges.
how do you think you got thrown out of Harvard?
Yeah.
I went to
All
a
right,
very
let's-
good. I went to a very good acting school, by the way, just so everybody knows. I actually did.
They
And-
served him a lot of Jello there.
Yeah.
Acting school, penitentiary, same thing.
Yeah. All right. All right. So.
Well, I kinda lost the
We already,
conversation.
we already lost, but we'll
The
give you a
Rikers
loss.
Island Acting School.
for the player's edge, we're going to go to the clowns' first tracks that they went to. Each one of us, their first track. One was Santa Anita, one was Delaware Park, and one was Belmont. Can you name who went to which track for the first time? Their first track experience.
First track experience. Well, you're from. I know that AJ went to school on the West Coast, so I'm going to go Santa Anita for AJ. And let's see, you're from Northeastern, so you're going to be Belmont, Randy, and that means Delaware for Sarah.
Okay, you
No.
are wrong. You
So
mixed up the
close.
East Coast.
You
You're
got
right,
AJ correct.
Mine was Delaware. Sarah was Belmont. We did live in Queens, and that's when Sarah went to her first track. So
Well, I had a
sucked.
50-50
You got-
chance of getting that
Yeah.
one right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
just-
got one right, but
That was
flipped
tough.
them
That
over.
was a tough
But you know what the good news is about this competition is that you still the guys out there can still get a free entry to the
Yeah.
contest happening this coming
4 of
weekend.
them.
we're gonna do it anyway. You know what? Because we're nice people, we're gonna let the players do a free contest. And anybody that
Yeah.
listen, honestly, it's
You're
always
welcome,
free.
everyone.
Oh my
We don't
gosh.
sit around. But it is a big thing. They do a contest. Players
Yes.
Edge does a contest every weekend. You're gonna have a lot of them this weekend, right? How
4
are
of
they
them
worth?
probably.
Tell us
Yeah.
about those.
At horseracingradar.com, we pick a track every single day. And then we have at Santa Anita yesterday, we had like 145 people that played.
Ooh.
And usually on Friday and Sunday, there's $50 prize. If you come in first place, it gets put into your account like that. And on Saturday is $100 prize. But when we have big weekends, they usually have a little bit higher prizes. I don't know if we'll have a higher prize this weekend, but I do expect that we'll have a contest on Monday as well. So you just head on over to Horse Racing Radar. You just register. You don't get spammed or anything like that. You put your picks in. And Saturday's contest will be a live contest. And during the live contest, I actually go on and do a little bit of like pre-race handicapping, run down every horse, some of the things I see that I like in them, some that I see that I don't like in those horses, and the ones that I don't like win, and the ones that I like, they don't win.
Rich,
Yeah, it's been a little bit cold lately.
I've always been a little suspect of that of you doing that only because aren't you in the contest? So what makes me want to trust you to tell you or to tell me who's going to be the winner? Because how do I know you're not just trying to throw me off if I'm entered in the contest?
Well, they didn't teach me that in my master's class.
Oh,
I just run down every single horse, and sometimes I don't make up my mind to the very last second. And then, but I tell everybody exactly what I've picked, and I'm under the same rules. In fact, another reason why is I can't even win the contest when I win the contest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
that.
so I don't get any of the money. It goes to the player behind me, and I've finished first twice like that and had to forsake those winnings, and that's why I only enter the ones that I do a live commentary.
Wait, but does the guy in second get the money?
Yeah.
Or is it like, is it a win for like the company at that point? Like, we don't have to pay this week. Awesome.
No, the next person
Rich
down.
won again. No,
They
so
should
the guy
just
in
roll it
second
over
wins.
to the next day.
That would be a good idea. Press it. Maybe we should do that.
yeah.
No, I think they would think that it would be fixed. That's the problem why you can't get the money anyway. They would feel like it's fixed. Like people like me, that would be like every time I lose, be like finding some out. That's why I lost.
Nope, it's all straight up.
But,
Everybody's gotten
Yeah.
paid.
And
The amount of folks that are
Yeah.
entering the contest is growing. The site is growing. We're getting good guests on the Player's Edge. So we'll be looking forward to the Belmont. I think we'll have Jose Ortiz as our guest. Last time he was supposed to be on, we had great technical difficulties, kind of like we did at the start of this show. So maybe I got to get new
They don't
my
know
internet.
that.
So
They don't know that, Rich.
no, well, they don't know. So if someone comes on next time and they have a trivia question, they might get that answer.
Well,
I don't
Rich,
know.
why don't you tell everybody about the new format you guys are doing with your podcast? That not only are you doing a recorded show, but you're going live now.
Live video, yes, indeed. Kind of like this, but we use StreamYard, and I'm trying to figure out how to use it with OBS so we can make it like a television production. But every Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be on YouTube making our picks with our guests. And maybe this week, I think you guys are coming on, right?
Here we are. At least AJ and I, Randy, if he doesn't have to work, he's going to
I
be
might be
joining
on a
us as
little
well.
late.
Well, you can join us live from on scene.
Recording live.
But I'm sorry. I apologize. I keep saying the Player Edge, but I always forget about Horse Racing Radar, the website, because there is two different things. Because Rich is the hardest working man in a horse
James
race.
Brown.
He
James
is
Brown of
James
horse
Brown.
racing.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to pay the cost if you want to be the boss.
The only
Exactly.
reason AJ even knows who James Brown is because of Rocky 3, by the way. So
Well, you said the hardest working man in anything. I always think of The Rock. Hardest working man in all of sports entertainment.
Oh,
not
boy.
anymore.
Is Bob Baffert his trainer?
No.
Possibly.
Bob doesn't have those
Possibly.
kind of drugs at
Yeah.
all.
Oh, goodness. Well, this has been fun, guys. What a fun
Absolutely.
show.
Yeah.
Rich,
Indeed.
as always, thanks for coming on and being our co-host with us. You did all right with the Triple Clowns trivia. We'll give
Yeah,
it
1
to
out of
you.
5 ain't bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Eh,
that gets you
Hit
the
my
Hall of
horse
Fame.
picks yesterday.
The guy who bats third for the Cubs. It's
Yeah.
good.
Bats first, second, third, fourth. Only the
Fifth,
pitcher gets
sixth.
hits.
It-
But
yeah.
the Cubs are actually in second place now, so they're moving up. So Randy,
Hey, we're above 500.
Yeah.
yes. So AJ can
You
wear
guys
that
are
hat
getting
and
up
pride.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make some trades at the deadline, and you never know.
Well, we're gonna lose Chris
Oh.
Bryant at the deadline, so it's probably not gonna get any better from here.
Oh
Man,
boy.
probably not.
Sorry, guys.
At some point, Rizzo and Baez have to start actually hitting the ball. So then maybe it
You would
does get
think.
better.
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Law
At
of
some point.
averages.
They're
Law
due.
of averages. You swing enough, you're going to hit it sooner or later, right?
Yep.
But all right, so everyone, make sure you check out Rich on the Players Ed podcast, as well as get in on their contest, their weekly contest at Horse Racing Radar, and check out their live show this coming Thursday. So make sure you follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Rich, what's your YouTube?
Right now, it's supposed to be under Horse Racing Radar (HRR), but it's all messed up because of the way I did something wrong. Me and technology. Eventually, it'll be under Horse Racing Radar. You'll be able to find it on the website, but it's under my name right now, Rich Bieglmeier. So good luck spelling that one.
I'll put a link down below in the comments to their YouTube, as well as their Twitter handles, and Facebook is will be the same as their Twitter handle. But Rich, it's always a pleasure to have you on our show.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, of course. And everybody out there, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button, and check us out on Degen Nation's platform now, as we are providing more content over there, some special content over there. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you jump on over there, and also, like and subscribe to them on YouTube, like them on Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if they're on Facebook though. But from the Triple Clowns, good luck to everybody. What's so funny, AJ? What's so funny?
I don't know if they're on Facebook.
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know.
Well, search it on Facebook. They might be there.
Yeah,
They might.
just Google Degen Nation, and then you'll figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Google's a good tool.
Yeah, but from the Triple Clowns
Evil
at
company.
Degen Nation, yeah, just Google things. But no,
We're
good
doing
luck
so
to everybody.
good too.
We have a great
Yeah.
show. Stay tuned, buckle up, and help us all. See you later, everybody.
God help us all.